It's, I think, 6:08 a.m. and it's early morning. I'm raring to go. Raring to go. The skies are completely clear. There's that first light coming over the horizon. This is, what is this now? Early to mid-November? No, December. No, November. It's probably like, I don't know, 9th or 10th of November. I don't really know. Got a big task today. Sorry it's so dark. I'll see if I can lighten it up here in a second. I just got my phone and I have enough electricity for wireless. Still working on that problem. But yesterday was an exciting day. I'll give you a quick update. First, I would like to note the sounds in the morning. All night there's been a lot of coyotes. Sound of a truck passing through. I know where it's going. I gave that guy permission to cross here. He's gonna work on a neighbor's land. Which means one of the sounds in this morning will be a chainsaw pretty soon. The other sounds out there, roosters crowing in the distance. Their call travels very far. Oh, that light actually works. Cool. This is a rechargeable LED light. One of my other goals pretty soon is going to be to get my rechargeable batteries working again. I've been finding stuff, I'm unpacking things. I mean, really, this is the most functional I've been uh, in well over 2 years, probably 2.5 now, I guess. Yeah, right around there. Let's go with the sounds a little bit more, shall we? Because it's such a magical time. I don't know that people need to be up at this time in the morning, but if you are up at this time in the morning, I would really recommend, uh, like I have some hand weights this morning. I was actually doing those in my bed uh, just to warm up. I just realized, hey, I'm sitting here cold. No amount of blankets is going to make me warm. This is like camping out, you know. Right now, the porch I'm on is about 41 degrees. That's what it was the other night when I checked it as soon as it got light out. So this year it almost goes to freezing, and occasionally I get freezes. Let's get back to those sounds, shall we? My dogs are out there far away reacting to the coyotes. I can kind of guess where one of them is, and I think that is probably Coco or Boogie, based on the sound of the bark. Cabron's definitely got the weirdest bark. It's interesting that there's no birds singing at all. I mean, sometimes at night you'll hear owls or whippoorwills, and I don't know when or why they sing. But pretty soon, just as soon as it gets light out, all the bird life is going to wake up. Because during the middle of the day, you don't get that much bird life, but in the mornings you do. And that's another reason to put on some nice warm clothes. Even this and exercising a little bit, I'm already getting cold again. I've been camping out here for 17 years, and a lot of it's been very uncomfortable. Check for more sounds. I think that's air brakes on a truck on a road that's a couple kilometers that way. And occasionally you'll hear the train come through, but that's pretty rare. And they don't do the choo-choo thing. You just hear this low rumble, and you'll say to yourself, huh, some kind of weird slow earthquake that I don't feel. It's just a train. It's moving goods down from Lazo Cardenas up inland, and it'll connect up somewhere. Maybe some of these container ships go all the way to Kansas City, or at least that was the plan a while ago. Checking in for sounds. Just the sounds of the town's waking up. All the folks go to work early. Ah, let's talk about something else, shall we? Let's talk about my excellent day yesterday. And since we're talking about coyotes and canines, let's start with the lovely dog Frida. She is a wonderful dog. She's a medicine dog. And it's not that I just love her, I need her. Uh, if I count back, theoretically, I got her in late April, maybe around the solstice. She was reported to be 4 months old at the time. That counts her back to February. And all I would need to do is pick the date that I like the most in February. Some date that has a good saint. Who knows? Maybe I could ask the family I got her from. They're real nice folks, and I know where they are, so I could just bring her by sometime. I was in the store that they have, and the guy asked me. He said, "How's Frida?" And I was like, "Fine." I was like wondering how he knows about Frida, and I was like, "Well, did she come from this family?" And he said, "Yeah, she did." So now I know where she's from, which is really cool. Often I don't know where a dog is from, like they get dropped off on the street or something. It almost looks like I have a mustache. Well, I think that's just because that's the only part that's not gray, and it might grow faster. Maybe I should try a mustache. Anyway, at first I was scared that she would get hurt. I'm not that scared anymore. Of course, I will continue. Look, it's so cold out. I have these little fingerless gloves on. Um, she just looks so weak and fragile, and she was dumber before. She's getting smarter all the time, which really helps a lot because, well, um, uh, there are a lot of dangers out there, and she needs to learn about which ones matter and which ones don't. And we're getting increasingly in tune. So she's learning when she needs to go through a door and when not, like when she's allowed to go through and when she isn't. So very slowly, she is getting trained without formal training sessions. Uh, and I still need to do leash training. But anyway, the big news with her is yesterday, no, last week on, it's written on the doctor thing, she got sterilized. And I'm not going to talk about that a lot right now. I realize it might be slightly controversial, but in my experience, it is a wise idea to sterilize dogs if you raise them the way I do. And probably anyway. There's just plenty of dogs in the world. All my dogs are adopted dogs that nobody else was going to want, probably. And they're all awesome dogs. I did pay for two of them, a token amount, but it's totally worth it. I think I paid 200 pesos each for the brothers. That's about $10. And considering that I'm going to have their lifetime with me, guarding me, teaching me, making my life more enjoyable, that's no cost at all. The sterilization was 600 pesos. That was $30 on the tiny little dog. And I was more scared on this time than I ever have been before because, like, I videoed the brother's castration. It's a pretty explicit video. I mean, they cut the balls out. So I don't know what they did to sterilize her. I didn't ask. I just left it all up to the vet. And I left her there with him. And I came back, and she was conked out and convulsing and all that. And she got better. I think she was on a ketamine trip. I'm quite certain. I didn't ask, but um, she's been since then a happy little dog. I shoot her with an injection every day. It's an antibiotic, and I put iodine on her wound, which is on her upper belly, and it's stitched up. Stitches come out in 15 days after the appointment. I do have to remember that, and I should probably put on a calendar somewhere. Uh, and I give her a pill. Those are easy to do. I'm good at it. This last time yesterday, she did not like getting stuck with a needle, and she looked at me suspiciously. And then I walked up to pet her after a few minutes, and she ran away from me. But then she forgot that I'm an evil medical doctor, and now she likes me again. She has never very good long-term memory for things that happen quickly. The other injections I gave her, she barely noticed. So I think she's learning that she doesn't like injections now. But too bad. So sad. And maybe it depends on time of day because I gave it to her a little bit late in the day yesterday. So maybe like it's better to give dogs injections in the morning. I don't know these things. You know, I'm a dog expert in some areas, but not all areas. Oh, it's cold out. Uh, yeah, so she's right now sleeping in my bed because that's the only warm place for her that exists. When I have some other news. Yesterday, a very big thing that happened was some geek guys came and from a nearby town, and they're real nice guys, and they know a lot more than I do about fixed wireless systems and probably other networking things as well. And so, 200 yards from here, you can see it through a pocket in the trees that somehow showed up there. And one box connects the other box to this other building called the Lodge. That building has a fireplace. That building has a king size bed. That building has nice art. That building has a real kitchen. That building has a large shaded area to sit outside of it, right there. That building is where the solar power is located. That building is where my water is, my larger amounts of water. And why I'm not living there, I don't know. I think it was because I was not very mobile. I now feel mobile enough that I can make a jump to over there. And that would be very comfortable. You know, I pride myself on my austerity. I pride myself on being able to not be a victim of constant needing of comfort. Comfort makes weak people, in my opinion. Now, obviously, some comfort is very good, but if you have no adversity in your life, whether it's manufactured pain or pain that the universe gave you, um, I think it's very useful to experience not only physical pain, but the pain of removal from your normal environment. Some people do that via travel or odd experiences or whatever. Uh, anyway, we don't need to go into Brian's theories on how to be a good person since Brian hasn't really figured that out. But it's always weird when people refer to themselves in a first person. It's fun though, and it bothers some people. It's just one reason to do it. Yesterday, also, of little interest to anyone, but technologically speaking, I have pared myself down a long time ago to only those technologies which are actually extremely useful. And that would be a camera. In this case, the phone is taking over the role of the camera in some cases. Very interesting. And then computers, communications equipment, which again, many people can use their phone for that. I do not have a good setup for that, and I'm very used to laptops. So I took an old laptop, and these guys helped me move the memory from there, extra memory, into the newer laptop. There were some difficulties, not because the guy messed up, but because I had BitLocker on Windows and I had trouble accessing my computer. And I have to go get confirmations of accounts and things, but whatever, it got done. And now I have a 16 gigabyte computer instead of an 8 gigabyte one, and 16 is still not that much. So we'll see. There was a third thing that they did. What was it? Oh, they brought me some things I need. It's really hard to get things here. I can't get mail. And so, while a lot of people live in a world where they can click and get access to something easily, Amazon or whatever, or they just live in a place with a lot of stores that have stuff you can buy, I don't. I live in a place where uh, the last time I went to town was 2.5 months apart, and there's no big stores near here, and I can't drive across the lake for vehicle reasons. My vehicle is slowly falling apart. It's just going to then be a big cost all of a sudden. I'll be suddenly isolated in the Bosque when that van dies. So that's tricky. Uh, no importa. So I got a hard drive from them. They delivered it to me, and some SD cards, 64 gigabyte SD cards and a 1 terabyte hard disk. It's external, USB 3, and rugged. So I was very happy to pay for that. It wasn't even that expensive. Like yesterday was not that expensive. It was about $150 for everything I had done. The guys charged me $60 to come up. They charged me for swapping out the memory. They charged me for the stuff I bought. And it really helps me a lot. So I really got to thank anybody who's been involved with connecting me ever. And I'll probably reconnect to a service I used to have. So I have two services, and that way I can serve people better. I don't know if you can see the light out there. I have trees exactly blocking the view from this porch, and I'm not going to cut them down. They are off limits to being cut down because I have plenty of view for the daytime, and I can build better view places later. So, yeah, things take their right times, you know. Oh, rah, rah. Oh, there goes my neighbor. Uh, so the plan in getting internet to the lodge is to move me there. So I'll have a more comfortable life and I'll be more productive because it's really hard to get stuff done when the days are really short because it's winter and the nights are cold. So it's hard to function. And my architecture, in this case, the building I'm living in, does not support warmth. So really, I should own better clothing for nighttime. But for now, moving the lodge is going to be an exciting thing. I have a big appointment today with a friend of mine for who I'm going to try to make a crowdfunding account. Someone did that for me once when I really needed it, medically speaking. I had an emergency. This guy does not have a immediate emergency, but he his knees are bad, and he has some other related problems. I'll find out today what the details on those are. But he's been a hardworking guy all his life. He's worked up in wineries in California. I don't know, it's Napa Valley, Petaluma, Santa Rosa. I don't know the area very well. But he and his local friends here went up there for a long time. But eventually his body just couldn't do it anymore. And so I've worked with him on projects here, quite a few, and his skills have increased with plant propagation. And that's one of his dreams is to actually have a vivero. He wants to uh, propagate and sell plants. It's a pretty good idea. And using this place as a base of seeds, because I've got a lot now, and we can do cutting so easily, I can get him stocked up pretty easily at not a great cost to me. It slightly slows down here things here, but you know he's my friend, and I really want to help him. So part of his needs that I'm going to try and meet with this crowdfunding thing are the surgery itself, which is actually going to be more expensive than mine because it uses a. Our theory is that because it uses a metal knee that has a hinge on it, and it's even though it's a common surgery, it's it just has more complex hardware. And he's currently asking around. He has friends, and we're well. He's finding solutions for that surgical solutions. And then we do one leg at a time. Doing both legs would put him in a bad state like I was in, where he can't move at all, really quick. This way, he can keep his other leg built up to some degree, and while babying the other one, and he can heal in much shorter time, hopefully, than I did. He will also have a home to stay in that he knows the people, although the place I stayed was really kind of great. It was, for me, like a vacation, except it was really boring and I was stuck in a bed. So, other than the medical details, it was actually really nice people, and I was so lucky. So, he has also lots of friends and people to help him out. They do one leg, he'd heal that leg, and then they do the other leg, and then he'd heal that leg. The problem is he's never really going to be suited for really difficult labor again. You know, the kind of work he's done since he dropped out of school in probably third grade. I made that up, but I'm quite certain it's true. I did not really make it up. It's just sometimes my memory, you know. have a conversation over 10 years ago. I don't remember what things were always. Uh, and so he's been critical of this whole project for over a decade because he hasn't been going lately to the U.S. He's been working here, and you know, he cuts trees, he walks around, he carries heavy stuff, he collects tierra de encino in wheelbarrows, and sometimes I've had the opportunity to even give those to people in town or people who I owe a favor to. You know, if I drive up with a van full of 10 bags of Winumo, no, sorry, not Winumo, tierra de encino, composted oak leaves, it's really good potting soil. It's not really good, it's pretty good. I can make better potting soil, but if I have that, I'm going to use it here. I'm not in a position to be selling uh, product yet very much in the Bosque. The way I'm developing it is really slow, super slow. So, so back to Chelino. One of the things is he's going to be in a recuperation state, right? He's not going to be as active for a while. And this is a guy who hasn't read a lot. You know, he hasn't had a lot of books available. And he really likes to learn, and he's a really smart, affable guy. People who have been here really like him. You know, he's funny, he jokes around, he sings while he works sometimes. He's got a great family. I know his kids. I've known them since they were tiny. And I know his wife. His wife has helped me out when I had people here and needed to cook for them. And she has her own restaurant, which is not currently open very much. It's not that kind of restaurant, apparently. I wish it was. But, you know, she's got her own thing she's doing. And, maybe if I force my legs to shiver, that'll warm me up. Oh, these are great. Um, he has talked about potentially being a shopkeeper, which I think is a pretty good role for him. Uh, I think his greater love is for plants. So those are not totally mutually exclusive. He could have a shop that sells certain things and sells plants. I see quite a few. Like there's a veterinarian I go to, and he's always got plants sitting out there, and I believe they're for sale. I think years ago I bought a couple. I was like, I don't think they have prices on them, but you know, they were sitting there, and I said, hey, like, what's the deal with these plants in pots? And so I was able to buy some cool plants. And of course, once we get one of a plant, we can reproduce the heck out of it. And that might be a plant that's just a flower, but it might be fruits. It could be anything. Anything I can find locally in the nurseries here uh, is of extra interest to me. So, oh, it's starting to get lighter out, just bit by bit. Did you see that last time? Now, I don't know which of those ideas is better, but what I'm saying, I guess, is I don't think the store and Vivero are in conflict. One problem is that he doesn't have a house to do it in. We're not going to raise money for that. That's a different problem. Uh, but there's options. And I feel like one way for me to pass forward value, since somebody did a crowdfunding thing that saved my life, in a way I want to save his life. And one of the ways I want to do that is since he can't do physical labor even after the surgery, and certainly not while recuperating, uh, I want to develop other parts of his mind. And so I would like to budget for a tablet computer that he has access to lots of web pages and videos on how to do everything. Now, there's a lot more videos in English. He doesn't speak any English. He speaks a tiny bit, but um, and some books. I want to get him some permaculture books. I am a permaculture teacher and can certify people. And I don't usually do that. I'm not running a permaculture school that's very active right now. I just accept occasional students. But although I should have a permaculture school here, and he could actually become a permaculture teacher. He already knows so much. I mean, this is a guy who's been, running around the woods all his life. He works out in the woods. He knows the names of the local plants. He knows the uses and the old uses of some of them. So he knows a lot of local things I don't know. And they're kind of hard for me to look up. Depends. Uh, we've talked so much over the years that he understands a lot of my philosophy about forestry and food forest farming, and he cares about the future for his kids. And I think that's great. I care about the future of the whole municipio. I want this municipio, this county, to continue going in the direction of food security, planting edible things everywhere, even if they're not the most tasty. I don't care. If it grows here without water or irrigation, it's in. If it's not noxious or, you know, and of course, where things are at matter. You know, you don't want a tree that's going to fall on your house, or you don't want a forest fire. We can do things that reduce risk of forest fire here, and I would recommend we do them now. Right now, forest fires are a moderate problem, uh, and most people don't live out in the middle of the woods like I do. So their houses are concrete and they're safe. There's no fire department. uh, but we should prepare now for forest fires. And the main way to prepare for that is forest biodiversification and also reducing human consumption of water. Uh, which in some areas could be difficult. But we can at least get rid of household water in the form of shitting in toilets. I'm off topic now, aren't I? Okay. So Chelino, the point is, cares about his community. I care about this community immensely. And one of the ways that I can have a positive impact on this community is with plant reproduction, especially trees. Make sure that all the seeds go out of here. And so he's been the hands of that. And a lot of that kind of work he can keep doing after the surgery, directing people to do things, leading teams. You know, like everybody, he has to work on his leadership skills. I don't know whether I do or not. That depends on a few things. But you know, I do what I do. I got to be me. And he's a really unique character. He has a great sense of humor. I've started giving him more books, him and his family, because I want them to have books. So the books are in Spanish. Because I want to increase general literacy around here. And uh, one of the things a friend of mine did is they sponsored him for a pair of reading glasses, which is a simple object to have. He should probably have a couple pairs. Um, so his recovery period, I guess I want to be highly productive, you know, and I want to get him prepped up to change his role in terms of work and what value he provides, because he has a lot of value that people would really like here, particularly Spanish speakers, obviously. Although I've made videos that, you know, I was narrating in English while he showed people how to graft a tree. That's a really basic skill that I don't know why more people don't know it. I guess it's because they live in cities or they don't care. Uh, he's been awesome at collecting plants from a valley over there to bring it here. Like I've got an agave that he brought here by seed, and we're growing it. Do I need another agave? Yeah, all of them. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. Oh, the birds just started. It's probably about 6:30 is my guess, a little bit before. Here, Forest is waking up. So, what am I going to get done today? I only got really one task. Talk to my friend, Chelino. And I hope it works. I want to run the crowdfunding thing for probably about $20,000. His costs on the surgery will be higher than mine, significantly higher, actually. Oh, wait. In fact, I miscalculated that. Oh, yeah, that's a tight budget, even at $20,000. Because I'm including the time he can't work, right? His family is without an income. And so I want to have funding pay for his recuperation time and for his having a few basic tools that cause him to increase his value greatly. I need to increase my value as a permaculture teacher as well, and I could have better tests, although of the two of us, I'm not sure who would be testing who. It depends on the topic. I think what I can do is drill him on permaculture words, permaculture concepts, because even though he practices permaculture here, food forest farming, um, I don't even know the words for it in Spanish in many cases for what things we do. I mean, we say weird shit like we don't have a good word for air layering. I don't know why I haven't looked that up on Google and then switched over to Spanish, but we call it like injertos en el aire. No, we call it, I forget. We've changed the name multiple times, and it's every time we say it, it sounds dumb. Let I say it anyway. But he doesn't know the word for it either. So we're both just kind of making up words here. It's excellent form of the Spanglish. Uh, I would like to, because I try and do propagation with as little water as possible, but I still have limited water, right? Well, the people in town do have water, and certainly watering cuttings is a pretty good idea, especially if it's a tree. And so I think that teaching anybody how to do cuttings around here, and some of the ladies know because I think they make cuttings of rhododendrons, not rhododendrons. It's one of those plants I don't have a lot of respect for. They do look pretty. Oh, what is it called? Ladies have them in pots all over the place. Malvos in Spanish. Geraniums? Geraniums. Yeah, yeah. And that's fine, but that's not food. But it does imply that maybe they have the right skills to produce other kinds of food. I've already started giving away seeds and plants. And what I do currently, and this is something that Chelino is very much part of, because he knows about the community and things. And so I try and, I check with him a lot of times before I give plants away, or I give them away to my friends. I know like a plant geek that lives in a little town, and she grows all kinds of cacti and all kinds of stuff. And so basically cause plant reproduction become like a hobby here. One way to do that would fit in with Chelino's goals as well is to almost have uh, a day where we give free workshops on plant reproduction. And we're experimenting with doing plant cuttings at all times of the year. At all times of the year. Uh, but I'm not confident that those succeed or not, or how well they do. Like if we do them in the cold of winter, do they grow slower? I don't know that, but um, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, my personal preference is dividing and moving plants and doing direct in-ground cuttings in early July and figuring out how to make those work. And I know that sounds out of season to some people because that doesn't fit in with the season where they live, but I'm adjusting to where I live and the methods I like and what I want to do. So, the things I say are not solutions for you. They're data points you can use to design what works for you, and then you can evaluate your system and see what you think the overall result was. Like, I love to do tiny experiments. Now, I usually forget I'm doing them, but not always. But if you can have three 5-gallon buckets and they have different kind of dirt, then you can decide what kind of dirt works. Or if you can try cuttings at different times of the year and see how they do. And you can start with easy cuttings like succulents, stuff like that. Uh, Rosemary seems to reproduce really well for me. And you'll find that some things that are maybe easy for me, I mean, succulents should be easy for anyone, I would think, but there's things that are easy for me in my climate with my methods, and there's things that are hard for me. And I actually have lots of research to do on every single plant that I want to reproduce, and I have a spreadsheet of these. So that's another thing is I would like Chelino ideally to learn how to use spreadsheets. I don't mean, writing formulas for them or anything, but, being able to deal with lists and sort lists and have due dates, which makes you wonder, should we have a project management software? That is a really big stretch for somebody who's never used a computer. There's some training to happen, but, you know, uh, and maybe I need to print stuff, to-do lists and stuff, but I'd really like to get away from printing things. It doesn't seem good. It's too much paper, and you have paper garbage, and then you have to buy a toner cartridge for your printer, and mine's low. It has been for 6 or 7 years. And so having things go virtual for some things would be actually ideal. The other reason for him to have a tablet would be so that we can organize schedules. Right now, I don't even have phone contact with anyone on my team. I don't have much of a team, but I don't have phone numbers that are current for a lot of people, and I don't have a phone that can make phone calls. I don't have any saldo, and so I can do certain things if I have Wi-Fi. In other words, the whole team's out of communication. But since there's Wi-Fi in Yotatiro, if he had a tablet, all of a sudden we would be in potentially amazing communication. Because sometimes, like when he comes here, I'm not sure what projects are the priority, and I do okay. I mean, I have to reprioritize things a lot, and things happen. Fences fall down, trees fall down, roads grow over. That takes longer. Water systems break, electrical system breaks. The car has a problem. Uh, uh, Somebody wants to do something that doesn't fit in with the values of here. Uh, Drains get clogged, which should never happen, but I have a badly constructed shower. Um, There's a lot of projects, and so it's hard for me to manage it. And what I need to probably do is break that into parts. And one of those parts is Chilino's part, where I want him to be the Spanish speaking manager of giving tours of the plant production here, of knowing the calendar of when we do each thing for each plant, when we harvest it, when we get seeds, when we cut it, when we reproduce it, no matter what part of the process, the entire annual cycle for that plant that is ideal for that species in the locations we have determined are ideal to have it, and he can manage that. He has a great memory. He knows the place. Uh, I mean, he's walked around a lot more than I have in the last couple of years, but I haven't been walking much. So I guess I can blow this candle out. This is a new kind of candle I bought. See that? It's tiny, but it's cute. And the big ones sometimes become hard to light, although I have a long lighter now. But like this one was just perfect in the morning here. And that way I didn't have to use my flashlight, which is an LED flashlight, which is now totally dead. Why did it die? It's probably battery. But sometimes they break. These things are pretty cheap, you know? And you can tell. And then this light right here I've been using. Let's see what happens if I don't use it. Oh, that's wonderful light. A lot better than this blue LED light. Ah, yeah. What a great morning it is. What can I do? Oh, yeah. I got to prep up for my friend to come. I do not know what time he's coming, which is not convenient. That's another thing. If we were in communication, we could actually schedule things. We could schedule workshops. We could schedule when things occur, and that would help everybody. Now, it doesn't matter right now. Right now, things are essentially shut down, except for some maintenance projects and plant propagation. Those are what I focus on. All right, that's out. And there's a dog. Hi, little doggin. She's all cuddled into my blankets and my jacket. And it's too cold for her to go outside right now. But I take her out anyway because she might want to, like, pee or poo or something. And I need to support that sort of activity being outside the house. Hey, little doggin, go outside. Come on, outside. Here we go. Come on, it's fun. I can inject you with more medicine. God, I hope she doesn't understand English. That is a joke. Until later today, in which case it won't be a joke anymore. All right, so here I've got this list for Chilino. And come on, let's take you outside. You got to go. That's what we got to do. You yawning? Are you sleepy? You are sleeping. Come on. This is the fun part of the day. We get out of bed. I wonder where my glasses are. Oh, I probably left them on the porch. All right. She's a very convenient dog. Conveniently sized. Oh, she's already getting cold. Oh, this is not good. I'm going to have her run around for a little bit, look cute, and then get her back into bed. Oh my God, she's shivering. So what else about Chilino? I I guess that's a direct request. This is a guy who does not come from a background that gave him a huge amount of options, you know? But he's been a solid, honest, hardworking dude, good family man, and I think he'd be a great guy to help if you want to directly help people who need it. I don't know what bank account to hook it up to. I don't want it hooked up to mine because most of my finances are in the U.S. and I don't want to move the money up there, even if it comes from there. I'm not sure what's the best thing, but I think he mentioned his daughter has a bank account. He doesn't have one, but his daughter might have a bank account for some odd reason. And what else? His brother probably has a bank account or a way to transfer money around. I don't know how this is going to work. But that is one of the things we'll figure out today. Hi there. Hi there, cuties. Yeah, you cutie babies. Let's go see the sunrise, okay? Ah, yeah. Oh, we'll not put that in camera. She is digging a poo spot, which is totally nice of her. She's doing a pretty good job, too. Little place under the leaves she can leave her crap. Hi, Boogie baby. Hi there. You good boy. You good boy. Yeah. All right, so what did we talk about? We talked about movement. Moving in the morning. Any kind of movement is fine. Those little lightweight weights, one reason I don't like them is because it's equipment, and I'm against equipment. You know, I think farm tools are good equipment. I think that's what we should exercise with, and we should do it by doing work. There's no reason to expend energy to move a piece of iron back and forth for no apparent reason. I understand if you're in the city, but we got plenty of work to do here. Even in the city, you know, there's probably landscaping you could do. That's the lake out there. It's beautiful. Clouds. Not very many. It's like a fog, actually. There are no clouds in the sky. 0 clouds. Is that true? Yeah. Therefore, when the sun comes up, it's going to be a very hot day all of a sudden. And it's going to have bad lighting for doing video. I am not sure today if we are doing a video interview or an exploration of how to do a crowdfunding thing. But I know that having a series of good videos would be good. Cholino is moderately experienced on camera, not so much as a speaker of longer things, usually showing people what to do or, you know, us talking about different kinds of plants. But we'll see what we can do. I know that Cholino has a lot of friends and family up in California who work up there, and it'd be great if they could donate to the campaign. I would love it if some of my friends would donate to the campaign. Obviously, I believe in it, or I wouldn't be making this video. This is an opportunity for me to help somebody who helps me, who has helped me. And if I could do this thing, I would feel like it was good. And that means that if you can do this thing, you might feel good too, because you're helping me and you're helping him, and you're helping the best place I know of to live in Mexico. And I guess that's a direct call for donations. Please do donate. Donate too much if you can, you know, if it doesn't kill you. If you're poor, don't donate. If you're poor, send this link to all your friends who aren't. And that's a great way to contribute. So, guess that's all I got for now. It's on a Chelino topic. Uh, Now I just got to figure out my morning. Should I make coffee? Yes, I should make coffee. Uh, kind of wish I had an outdoor stove. My kitchen's in a really dark room. I can't turn on the lights. Where's my fucking flashlight? Oh, it's upstairs. Uh, it's just dark. That would be an interesting place for a shed light that's easy to turn on and off so that I could either light up that porch but not lit. Uh, Really, I need shed lights inside. No, what I need is a real solar power system that is better. I mean, I have a very small, good one, but everything I could drink is cold, and so therefore I should make something hot. Isn't that a bright idea? I could have been walking around all this time with a pot of coffee. Where is the coffee pot? Here's the coffee pot. Somebody sent me some ankle weights. Some ankle weights. It was a while ago, and I looked at those and I was like, no way can I use those. But as my body gets better, some people know, some people have been through this kind of thing before, right? And so they know that some things are kind of useful. Yeah. How's that? Oh yeah. Yuck, 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 yuck. You know, I need to travel to an actually really cold place. This place does get as cold as Seattle at night, which you wouldn't think is that bad, but if you have shitty housing, it can get kind of cold. You know, ask a homeless person in the winter if they get cold, and they'll probably say yes. But I don't want to find out what homeless people wear. I want to find out what they wear in, northern Norway or something, and then get the thinnest, warmest things that they have, whatever it is. And I know lots of people think that's bizarre that Mexico can be cold, but I live up in the mountains, I'm at almost 8,000 feet, and it's not always cold. Uh, in fact, today's going to be a kind of hot day, so it's definitely not always cold. Ah, God damn. Ah. All right, now comes the hard part. Remembering that I have coffee on the stove and not getting distracted by anything else. That is going to be slightly difficult because, no, it won't be that difficult because there's not a lot I can do around here. It's too damn cold. It's not like I'm going to go take a walk or something. Got my thermos ready for my hot coffee. If I have any coffee cups that aren't full of bugs and mouse turds. I know that one's disgusting. I never use these insulated cups. Maybe I should. But I want my coffee to cool down. That's the entire point of coffee. It should cool down enough so it doesn't burn your mouth. This one has a lot of dried coffee crud in it. Huh. Which normally I would just leave there, but I'm not in the mood. And things are just so suspiciously disgusting out here, especially when it comes to the mouse crap. That's one problem with an outdoor kitchen, is that it has a lot of the outdoors in it. So I would recommend not getting too optimistic about what you can do in an outdoor kitchen. Outdoor kitchens should be for specialized food that, don't attract rat. God damn it! Water just ran out. Lovely. getting better at having you follow me around, finding little spots that are the right angle to place things at. I do want to build a wooden stand, and I wouldn't build it, I just design it. This gives me really easy, where the little back flap on my camera hits a series of little notches to determine its angle. That would be really great. Oh, I'm so cold. Where'd the puppy go? Puppy! If she's smart, she went inside. Hopefully she did. I got to check on her, though, because that's my job. I actually like having somebody to take care of quite a bit. It's fun. It gives me a reason to do things. If it's just me, I'm not going to do anything for me. But I'll do, some level of things for other people and dogs. Ideally, the things that would cost me the least and benefit them the most. That is how gifting should work. All right. What am I looking for? The dog. Dog, where you at? Oh, hi, dog. Good girl. Good girl. Now, the other dog is curled up on a really shitty blanket on the ground, but that's her blanket, so. You want to go back in the real bed? You want to go back in there? Here we go. Let's put you under some covers. Yeah. You like going under there? You want to go on top? Okay. Okay. You're all covered up. That's a good girl. Good girl. Yeah. We'll see you later, okay? I think I'll let her decide when it's good for her to come out. Just to get her used to this, She has to start running her own life as much as possible. What am I looking for? Flashlight. Oh, that's just to get up and downstairs. And I'm cooking coffee, or making coffee, whatever it's called. Let's take this little solar panel thing somebody gave me outside. Things like this have actually turned out to be immensely useful when my power fails, which it currently is trying as hard as possible to fail. Yeah, I like the idea of this. This is great. Walk around in the cold morning. Why not? Why be stuck inside, freezing? And pretty soon there'll be a sun that comes up and warms up my entire body. It's going to be great. Well, yesterday was great because it gave me a little more happiness to knock off a few more tasks. Coffee's still going. I'm using propane to make the coffee. That is a fossil fuel, you will notice. And it would be better if it was done by wood. Living as one person, most systems are not efficient, right? They're not efficient to operate. All right, no coffee yet. Well, I'm doing something bad. Smoke a cigarette. It used to be, I would say, that I would see a pretty girl, and then she would light up a cigarette. And then I would think, wow, that girl's not so pretty after all. My hands are too cold. And this lighter sucks. Damn it. Light it off the gas stove. I don't know. I really think that wood is not the best option for heating and cooling. I really think that, even though it's romantic kind of, it sounds very pioneery. Where it sounds like rural Mexico. Or it sounds like a lot of places that became deserts. Now, I'm also not in favor of like battery systems on solar panels. I think they're bad, very bad. No matter how you figure it out, it contaminates. It's a bad choice. Sometimes you get some nice reds reflecting off the swampy parts of the lake. It's pretty. Uh, Wind power, solar power, ways of generating electricity during the day and cooking, eh, maybe that could be better. I mean, how many photovoltaic panels does it take to cook how much food? I'm against using electricity for heating and cooling, generally speaking. Oh, she was not. The dog was not digging a place to poo earlier. She was digging a bed to watch the sunrise and enjoy the first rays of the sun. Honey, you should make your bed over here. This is the first rays of the sun right now. I could make you a pile of oak leaves here. You could cuddle into them. Composted oak leaves. Tierra de encino. Got to work on that Spanish. Oh, tierra de encino means tierra is earth of oak. Oak earth. Composted oak leaves and branches. And it's a great resource. It's everywhere here. People talk to me about gasifiers and all kinds of fancy technology. They're fascinated with it. I would love that stuff. I'd love to consider it all. I'm pro technology in a way. I'm a lot more pro figuring out how to do things in an ideal way, not using brute force, energy intensive systems to then get some other energy benefit. God, I wonder how hard it would be to have an evacuated tube, solar hot water heater, just one room. Because I think, I always get too big about my plans, but I don't want to build it here. Where can I build it? That's a terrible spot over there. Everything's a little bit tough. I just have a lot of trees everywhere blocking everything. Still, though, that doesn't matter because the room itself, if it had PEX tubing in the flooring, would heat up a thermal mass, and probably an insulated thermal mass, insulated against the Earth itself, depending on whether the Earth could do better than we can. But I think we can do better than the Earth. So the Earth is a good stabilizing influence, but and that should be dug into slope all the way. Plaza on top and resources. Big double pane windows. And that's not just for the collection of that first sun. It's also because all day long, this is an awesome view. And if it gets too hot, we can have big, huge windows we open up. Heck, we could have a solar fan. I'm against that kind of thing, but the right direction. If the wrong direction is more technology, the products of fancy research, large machines, CO2 capture, attempting to get water from the air. That's also a dumb one. Anybody who tells me that they as an individual have developed a new kind of battery, I'm suspicious of that. Why don't you go to somebody who can dump a bunch of money on you? I don't know. I'll read any plans, but just people saying like they want to come here and do something that is really vague, that has no plan, no, not going to do it. I'd rather have the cash and buy a, real solution for when I do want a technological solution. But the bigger solution is much simpler. Civilizations all around the world have developed things, for example, buildings that have a tower that captures the wind and funnels the wind through the building, aerating it, if maybe it's a hot climate, for example. Okay, you want to go back inside? You can go back inside. Let's go back inside. You can do it yourself. Come on. I'll walk over there. She follows me around like a puppy dog. What a coincidence. I could work a little bit with Chelino, a translator, and together we could write up a lot of the permaculture ideas as they're implemented here, because they are implemented a little bit differently as they would be anywhere. Anyway, the solution is to build into our buildings uh, better architecture, absolutely better architecture. Set this little battery thing in the sun. Why not? There's no sun around here. I'll set it right here. Uh, so dig in. We got that covered in other videos. And plan for airflow and the flow of water anywhere near any building, anywhere. Do not put buildings next to each other very much, or even near each other. We should have larger buildings when people are sleeping. They just need sound insulation so they can wake up and fuck on occasion. They don't need big areas because public areas should be so available. And lots of areas within nature, little pagodas here and there, meditation spots, destinations, viewpoints, secret caves, special gardens. Oh man, the tips of my fingers are like frozen feeling. I don't know why it was so cold last night. Had like about 8 or 10 blankets on me. It was an oppressive weight of blankets. All right, this coffee's almost ready. Oh, I have bananas to eat. That's great. God damn, it's beautiful. I really love that these trees are right here because you get the sun coming through the branches. But if you move over there, then you got a direct view of the lake and the sun. So you can kind of choose your view. And really, I should have more places around here that have metal chairs, although those are a little bit cold, but flat spots, like this one, where people can be and enjoy the view. Cabron and Mayhem are sitting over there waiting for the sunrise to warm them up. They're such good dogs. Well, I've seen all the dogs today. That's great. I don't like it when the dogs are missing for time. It bothers me. Go say hi to these guys. Hi guys, how you doing? Dog yoga. Onward dog. Hey old baby. Yeah. You a cutie baby. Yeah. You a cutie baby too? Yeah. More yoga. Downward dog. One of the things I could do, now it wouldn't work. See, I just don't get enough sunrise right there. It's hard to make places where the sun arrives. Where is it arriving right now? Way up there. That's going to be my sunrise spot. It's a hike up to it, but you want to move your body anyway, right? And if I had a good trail, I have to walk up there. Not right now. I'm wearing the totally wrong clothes. I would return covered in burrs, and I'm also wearing shitty sandals, so like flip-flop type things. Somebody's coming. Oh no, maybe not. It's hard to tell. The dogs think so. That's why you want to have dogs, so you can expand your awareness. Dogs are an external awareness expanding mechanism. They can smell for you. They can hear for you. They have shitty eyesight, apparently. Doesn't matter. Most things make noise. And to a dog, everything smells. See that out there? The sun has now come up and is just blocked by the tiniest bit of haze in the atmosphere. The machines have started. Another sound of the morning. Hey, what are you doing down here? She went to her little bed that she made in the leaves. Okay, I have to make a better bed for her right here. Right here. Dig it in. Fill it with Wenumo. No, Tierra de Encino. And maybe Wenumo also for, I could put down Wenumo, like I could dig a little cave, a little hole there, put a cedar hedge in front of it so that, is this the best spot? Yeah, it's the best spot. I could also just make this trail be such that it had nice spots for dogs. I'm not sure. And people. Can't tell if that's steamy air coming out of my mouth or smoke. All right, let's check the temperature before it warms up very much. It's still cold out. My guess is 41 degrees. Let's take a look. The ankle weights, I don't know if I'm going to wear those quite yet. It's already hard enough to walk around, but maybe it would be good. Oh, what am I doing? Making coffee. Don't forget that. It's now light enough out to check temperature. All right, let's take a look. It is now 41 or probably 42 degrees. So I'm off by 1 degree. 40 the answer to, or 42 the answer to life, universe, and everything. Great book. And a great movie, actually, too. I really enjoyed it. Is this boiling? Ouch! God damn it. I can't really see things in here. That is definitely boiling. Okay. Probably a little bit late. This is a terrible place to have to wait around for something to boil because it's just too cold. Okay, I need this hot pad. Where is my thermos? Turn off the stove. At night like that, like this morning, I can't even turn on a 3-watt light bulb without crashing my system out. So it's darkness, 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 but not for long. One of my next big projects is to get solar panels fixed up, and then get a whole different solar. Oh, I didn't put any coffee in this water. God, I'm dumb. I should not be in charge of this. Okay. Do I have coffee? Yes, I have coffee. All right, let's try this again. All right, turn the stove off. That was dumb. Well, it was smart at the time. Ouch. Okay. Coffee time. Almost. I just stick in a handful of coffee into a pot of water that's hot. I don't do anything fancy. And I'm mostly against fancy, you know. I don't like French presses and stuff like that. It just seems like it's using up my time. I am quite interested in cold, it's called cold pressed coffee. And I think the way I would do that, I don't know what you officially do to do that, but let's see, we'll put this top back on here. We'll just restart a few things. Don't burn your hand, dude. Okay. All right. We'll give that a little bit of time. Turn the gas down as much as possible. So this is delay. All right, let's open the building up a little bit. Get some airflow through here. I'll be hanging around today anyway. Do it upstairs too. I guess it's good I have stairs in my house, even though I'm against that kind of thing, because it does force me to do different kind of motions, you know, in fixing myself. Well, I've been trying to stretch out more. I can't believe it's been this long and I'm still messed up. We're going to air the heck out of this place today. Open up every window that can be. And what that does is it lets the dry, cold air in. And then that dry, cold air picks up moisture and takes it out of the building. Because later on, as it warms up, that's going to flow out of the building more and more as the sun hits this. All right, what else do I need up here? Everything and nothing. I need to plug everything in to recharge. The poor dog is so cold. Oh, I got a friend that's bringing out sweaters for dogs. Like a whole bunch. Some functional and some funny. I got a notebook. I got to start working on Chelino stuff. I did start a nonprofit with Chelino and some other guys. Never really went anywhere because nonprofits work so differently here. And I currently owe money to the bank, and I have to go visit SAT or Hacienda to find out, you know, how much trouble I'm in for not reporting things. I probably won't get much because the way things work around here is that there's a lot of businesses and things that aren't registered, and they're just trying to get people to register. Also, I haven't made any money at all on that nonprofit, right? And so if there's no money to take, nobody probably cares about, you know, what I'm doing, and there isn't any. And so the only support I get right now is PayPal donations, which I appreciate immensely. And then, okay, this is boiling. It has coffee. That's wonderful. And I'm going to call it done. That was not much of a boil. I like to start it at room temp, which is very cold here. Put the coffee in and bring it to a boil. I like to get cold pressed coffee because you're getting a whole bunch of coffee goodness going into the water all night. Oh, somebody's coming. Dogs probably did hear that. It's a long, bumpy road, you know. Sometimes these guys bring me a sandwich or tortas. They bring me out 3 tortas. And that's what I've been living on lately. Tortas. They're great. I got a coffee cup. I've got, I want to set up an external monitor so that this guy can see what I'm doing. And I guess I'm going to cut out now because he hasn't agreed to be on camera right now. Yeah. Buenos dias.